How do you even start? Like, what do you... what I have to make an intro to a YouTube video. See, this is what I get for making fun of every intro to YouTube. You see, this is payback. This is the justice that I definitely needed. Welcome to the first official video. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing my everyday makeup. The reason that I chose to do this as the first video is because I always get so many questions. Like what I do, what I use, how to start, because so many people don't know, coworkers, family members, friends, and like sometimes just talking, you're like, no, the majority of the time, like people have no clue what I'm talking about, what I'm saying, and like I just thought that this would be the best way to help in that. I'm gonna be explaining more about why I chose to do this as my first video, but I'm also gonna be introducing the channel while I do my makeup. So yeah, if you're here, thank you. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for helping your girl out. And yeah, I hope I honor your time, and I hope you like enjoy and like have fun and laugh with me, and like, yeah. All right, I'm done talking. I'm gonna just let you guys go ahead and watch the rest of the video. So let me get my hair out of my face, because if not, yeah, we're not getting anything done. Oh, I like literally turned into like a 4-year-old, but okay. So before I like talk about the makeup and everything, I just kind of wanted to like say that you don't really need expensive makeup in order to do good makeup. Like I used to think that you had to spend so much money that you only could get like things from Sephora, and that's really not true. Like I used to spend all my money. Like I used to go on like a makeup spree, and I would spend like over $300 on like 5 products in Sephora, and you know that wasn't it. Like no. And then one day I just went to our faithful friend Target down the street, and I was like, all right, we're gonna figure it out. And I just started kind of like branching out and kind of like trying products here and there. And I realized that a lot of the products, like drugstore products, are actually really good and they're inexpensive. So you don't need expensive makeup in order to like have good makeup. That's not true. I have found a lot of really good makeup that majority of my makeup is like drugstore products. So I have some high-end, I have most of it drugstore products. So I just kind of want to like tell you guys, because like a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are like, oh, like do you shop at Sephora, do you shop at MAC? I'm like, no girl, I shop at Walmart for $4. But yeah, usually when I start doing my makeup, like I don't like to start without like moisturizing my face, because I don't know, I don't like to put foundation, I don't like to put primer before I put my face. So I always just go in with a moisturizer, and I'm using the Clean and Clear one, this dual action moisturizer. I'm pretty sure, I hope focus, I'm pretty sure I got this at Walgreens, and it's probably like $6. It's really inexpensive, and I just honestly like to do this first. If I don't have moisturizer on, like we're not doing anything. So yeah, something that I learned also is just like wash your hands before you like touch your face. My mom has always taught me that. She's like, girl, like why are you touching your face? Like don't do that. The next thing that I do is I put primer on. I used to think primer was like a joke. I used to think primer was like it's like a waste of money. But I actually came across a picture on Twitter, and it had like this picture of the orange, and you know how oranges have like the little small like holes in them, and then it had the picture on the side of it, the same orange but with primer on, and you can see how like the difference of the orange without the primer and the orange with the primer, and you can see how like it like fills up your pores and it looks so smooth. And after that I was like, yeah, your girl needs primer. But I'm using the Baby Skin, this one right here from Maybelline, and yeah, like I work a lot in the sun for hours at my job, and I always get like so many like questions from customers, from coworkers. They're like, oh my god, Michelle, like how is your makeup like still on, like what? And I'm like out there sweating for like a good 6-7 hours, and my makeup's still on. Alright, after primer, I usually go in with foundation and I apply it with a beauty blender. Now, like, I didn't officially do freelancing. Like, I didn't really do it officially, but... And just an FYI, I'm not a professional makeup artist or anything. Like, I didn't work at Sephora, I didn't work at MAC or nothing like that. But since I've been doing it since I was like 15 years old, like I've kind of picked up with some things. And since I've been doing it that long, like people always ask me like, oh, like can you do my makeup for like this or for like that? And so I haven't done officially freelance, but in a way I have. And I've met, like, I thought people just knew, but the majority of the people that I did their makeup, like, they did not know that you're supposed to use like your beauty blender damp, like you're supposed to wet it. And they were like, no, like I just use it dry. And I'm like, no, like no, you're supposed to wet it. Cause like I'll give you guys an example. Like this is a dry one, and like you see when I squeeze it, it's like hard, but as opposed to this one, it's like squishy, it's like smooth, it's like soft. And the reason you're supposed to like use it wet or like damp is because when you apply your makeup, it like soaks up a lot of your product. Well, like not all of it, but majority of your product, so that when you're putting it on, it's like pressing it into your skin instead of like caking all the products on your face, and it looks a lot more natural. So I know for most people, you're like, duh, you're supposed to do that, but you'll be surprised at the people that didn't know that you're supposed to use a damp beauty blender. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I'm in the shade 220. I hope this focuses. Like, yeah, thank you. And yeah, so that's what I use for foundation. This is also really inexpensive. It's like $5 at like any drugstore. After I go in with foundation, I always do my eyebrows right after, just because like if you don't know, that's like a tip. You do all the liquids first, and then you do all the dry stuff like the powder. I'll kind of explain it as I go through, you'll see it. But I usually, since I'm gonna do my eyebrows, like since I'm gonna use concealer to define my eyebrows, that's why I do my eyebrows right after foundation. So I'm like mixing, you know, dry with the liquid. For my eyebrows, I'm using a spoolie. Oh, by the way, the concealer that I used was from CoverGirl. So now I just kind of go in with like a eyebrow tint, I guess you can say. This one's from e.l.f. It's also really inexpensive. Oh my god, I have a broken nail, guys. Don't mind that. I'm so wretched. Anyway, so yeah, I just kind of go through my eyebrows with this because I just don't want to like be too bold. So instead of going with the pencil, I just kind of go with this tint. And then I kind of just outline them with the pencil lightly, so I'm not like overdoing anything, you know? And this is just for like color. But anyway, while I'm doing that, while you guys see that, I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit, introduce the channel, just a little bit of like what it's gonna be about. Hopefully one day I can share all like everything that went behind the scenes with YouTube, and like everything that like I've had it, like I've wanted to do it for such a long time. Not necessarily makeup or anything like that, but yeah, it's just been a process. Hopefully one day I can share like the full like thing, but for now, the time has officially come. It's been a lot of like frustrations, a lot of tears, a lot of like moments, but we're here, you know, so that's all that matters. I'm going with the pencil from Wet n Wild. This is my favorite eyebrow pencil. Like I promise that I've used a million eyebrow pencils. This is $3 and it lasts me for like 2 months, and it's great. Okay, so if you're looking for a good eyebrow pencil, Wet n Wild. See, majority of the things that I use are really inexpensive. But like I was saying, yeah, so with YouTube, with the channel, it's gonna be a lot of like lifestyle videos. It's gonna be fashion videos. It's gonna be faith-based content. I can't really not include a part of who I am, so you're gonna see a lot of that. So if you're like looking, if you're like trying to get closer to God, but you don't really know where to start, and you're like kind of afraid of it, or you don't really know how it works, or you've been just kind of like slacking on your relationship with God, stay tuned. I'm gonna be trying to like do some videos about that. But yeah, I'm like really excited for this journey. Don't really have it all figured out yet, but I don't really know what God has in store for me, but I'm excited, and I'm excited to like take you guys along the journey with me and kind of like grow together, and for you guys just to like see, you know, like me mess up, like we'll mess up together, we'll grow together, we'll succeed together, whatever which way that means. But oh, by the way, I'm defining my eyebrows now. I'm just kind of like cleaning them up. with the concealer. So you can, I'm using a palette, I'm using the Anastasia one to conceal, but honestly you can use a regular concealer for that. And I just get like a flat brush. This one's from MAC, and it's really good and I really like it. So I just kind of go underneath my eyebrows to kind of like clean them up and define them. And yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, I'm like excited to like go on this journey with you guys and like grow. And I know that like things will change. Like I know that I'm pretty sure that's not always gonna look the same, but we'll see. I'm excited. And yeah, and by the way, I'm using this brush. Most of my brushes are from like BH Cosmetics or like Morphe. They're like really inexpensive too. I don't really know how to explain this brush, but if I, God forbid, lose this brush, I don't know what I would do. I just don't know how to explain this brush. It's like a really small blending brush, and it kind of just goes into all the little small spaces. And so yeah, that's what I'm using to blend. And I'm gonna just do the same thing to the other side. And the reason that I like began or like wanted to start YouTube was just because like I'm just the type of person that I like to share, you know. Like people don't care, like some people may not care, but like there's people that like people like me that like really like to like catch up and like talk and like chit chat and like learn and like grow. And that's just how I like who I am. And so getting to share like things, share life, like I love all that. I love like giving advice, I love hearing people out, I love all of those things. And so I don't know, I really like got into it, and I really feel like that was something that kind of God put in my heart. So here I am like giving it a try. And so yeah, here I am. So I'm gonna use the same concealer that I use for my eyelids on my face. I know majority of people know what concealer is, but I've met a lot of people that really didn't know. They don't understand me like makeup. They just kind of do something really quick. They don't really know. But concealer is just used for like that, like when you have bags, when you haven't slept, you just want to look more awake, you want to like cover up your dark circles. This is what concealer is for. It's also like you put it under your eyes because when like light hits you, it hits like the front of your face first, so it's gonna make you look very awake, it's gonna make you look very like bright, it's gonna make you look a whole lot younger. Alright, after you have gone in with all your liquids, like your concealer, your foundation, if you want to do a cream contour, you can. I don't really do that, but after you're done with all your liquids, you're gonna do just like all the matte stuff, all like the powders, the dry, which I'm gonna go in with a powder. I'm using this one from CoverGirl. I don't really recommend this one because I don't really like it that much, but this is all I have. I prefer the Laura Mercier one from the translucent one from Ulta, but this is what I got right now, so this is what we're using. I used to apply powder with a brush, but I realized that like gives you really like a cakey look as opposed to the beauty blender. It like presses the powder into your skin, so it looks a whole lot more like skin like, more like airbrush, more like more natural, as opposed to like just putting just a brush with a bunch of like loose powder on your face. And so I just kind of, wherever I put like concealer at, that is where you're gonna put the powder on. And this is basically you just setting what you've already put underneath, so like everything stays in place. That's what the powder is for. And to also like make sure that you're like not creasing throughout the day. If you're like really oily, you would like fall in love with like powder. I have really oily skin, so like it works for me. After that, I just kind of like set my whole face, and I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty one. I'm in the shade 210, but that's kind of what I use for my face. I'm sorry that my things are so dirty, and I just kind of set my whole face with this powder. I don't try to do a lot, I just try to do a little bit, because then I don't want to look like cake face, you know. I don't want to look like so this is what I do. I just kind of like, because we're gonna go in with bronzer and blush, and if your face is like still like wet with the foundation, it's gonna look patchy, and once you start like blending in your other stuff. So this is why I do face powder. And yeah, the reason for bronzer, if you didn't know, I'm also using a foundation, like a small foundation brush. This one's from Morphe. If you didn't know what bronzer is for, if you like never heard of it, if you don't understand what it is, it's just that your face has natural shadows, and once you put foundation on, you like cancel out, like you just blurred out all your natural shadows. This is why I look like a ghost and like scary right now, because you took off all your natural shadows. So that's what bronzer is. Bronzer is just kind of giving you sun back. It's kind of like giving you your natural shadows back. So I usually put it from my ear down to my like down my cheek, and then I just go in with this like bronzer. I think this is a blush brush, but I use it as a bronzer. And I'm using the butter bronzer for this. Like, I got this at Walgreens. This one's a little bit more on the like expensive side. I think it's like $17, but it's really good. I've had it for 2 years, and I'm just now hitting pan, and it smells so good. But that's what I do. And then I go in with lightly. I think it's also in like the way you hold the brush. So you want to be like kind of gentle when you're like putting on bronzer, because if you're like going in like really at the bottom, just a tip, if you guys start with if you're holding your brush at the bottom, you're like putting on more, like it's gonna be more pigmented. You're putting a lot more, as opposed if you put it up a lot higher, you're putting it on lightly. So you just kind of start doing that. You just like blend it in, and you like kind of build it up, as opposed to just starting off with a whole bunch of bronzer and you look crazy. And then after that, I'm just gonna put on blush. I normally don't put blush because like at work, like I have to put on a mask and there's just no point. But for the sake of the video, and sometimes majority of the time I do put blush, I feel like blush is like my favorite part. I feel like it gives like life to your face. I'm using the Milani one. This is the Luminoso one. I don't know if they still make this one, but this is really good, and it's also really expensive. This is my favorite, like all-time favorite, the blush. And I'm gonna go in a blush brush also from Morphe, and I just kind of swirl it in, and then I just smile and like apply it. And then after that, that's basically it for my face, besides my eyelids. Before I ever like do my eyelids, I always like to set my eyelids. This is also a trick. Like, I've learned that you can, if you're gonna put eyeshadow, I'm really more like on the natural, I guess, side of the makeup. But if you want to put eyeshadow and you want it to last longer, by the way, the concealer that we put on our eyelids in the beginning, it serves as like an eye primer. So instead of like wasting money to buy a primer for your eyes, for like your eyeshadow to stay longer, either way you're buying concealer, you might as well just use the concealer, and it works the same way. You just put on your eyelids. It's gonna make your eyeshadow last, and it's gonna prep your eyes for that. And so when you put eyeshadow on there, it's gonna be wet. And I've learned that like you can do eyeshadow on top of that without setting it, and it's supposed to last longer. But I like to set my eyelids, because if not, like once I put eyeshadow, like I can't blend it right. Like I just feel like it's hard to blend. So I always go in with the powder, like setting my eyes first. And then also like it keeps them from creasing during the day. Like I don't want to have like crusty eyelids, you know. So I just set it really quick. What I don't do eyeshadow like I said, but I learned this trick from Mario. He goes by Makeup by Mario on Instagram. He is like Kim Kardashian's, like Ariana Grande's makeup artist. He does a lot of people's makeup. He showed this trick of like just putting like eyeliner, not eyeliner, but a brown liner on your eyelids. And if you have brown eyes, it's gonna make your eyes like stand out a whole lot more. Like, and I promise it works, because I started doing it like 3 years ago, and everyone, like all the customers, like everyone that I come to, they're like, oh my god, like I love your eyes, do you have contacts? And I'm like, no, those are my eyes. And like even when I'm like taking orders, people are like, customers are like they stare at me for like 25 minutes, and I'm like why are you staring at me? And they're like, oh, they start complimenting me my eyes. But I'm just like, it's the trick. So if you have brown eyes, try putting brown eyeliner, like brown, like the eyeshadow. I use just dark shadow. I'm using the Anastasia Sultry palette, and that's just what I use. I use the darkest brown, so you can use the darkest brown you have. And I'm using an angle brush or like an eyebrow brush to apply it. Okay, so like I don't know if you see the difference, but like it opens up your eyes a whole lot more, and it makes your eyes like stand out. So I've learned that, and ever since that I've never went back. Like that's just my makeup routine. I do it all the time. And also I just put like black liner on my waterline, and I just feel like that also gives you like, it makes your eyes stand out a lot more too. And that's basically it. That's what I do for my thing. I just have to put mascara on, but usually before I go in with mascara, I like set my face with like a setting spray, just because like if I set it after my mascara, then like my mascara is like falling, and like I have to just do the whole thing over again. Nobody got time for that. So I just go with the setting spray. Usually I use the Mario Badescu one. You get that at Ulta. It's really cheap. It's like $7 for the small one. I'm using this Maven one. I'm not sure how much this one is. I really liked it though, but this one was a gift from a friend. So this is what I use, and I usually like just set my face before I like do my mascara. And what this is for is to like take off all the excess powder maybe that you put on. It like makes your makeup last the whole day. It makes your face look a lot more natural. Like it soaks it all into your skin. So this is what this setting spray is for. And then while that sits, then apply my mascara. I'm gonna be using this one. It's the Great Lash by Maybelline. I use a lot of Maybelline. That's funny. But I'm using this green and pink one. This is what I use for my mascara. I give it a second, my face to dry before I go in with it. But like I was saying, yeah, like that's kind of why I wanted to do YouTube. This is why I started it. And so yeah, I'm excited. Don't really know where it's gonna go. But yeah, I don't really want to share too much because like you will see in like the next videos. I'm still getting used to everything. I'm still very new at everything. Like I'm still learning what a camera is, like half the time I'm lost, okay? So yeah, bear with me. but yeah, so now I just go with the mascara. I do my top and I do my bottom as well. You could put on eyelashes if you want. I didn't really do that much. Sometimes I do. It depends on my mood. It depends on if I'm feeling like extra, then I'll do eyelashes, right? So now that I've put on my mascara, that's like kind of like the finished look. I don't know if you guys can see like my eyes and like the difference that it makes putting like the brown liner, the black liner, the mascara. And so yeah, it's basically I just go in with lip gloss. I'm not really a lipstick girl. I don't really like lipstick that much. I have really dry lips, so lipstick is not for me. I'm using this lip oil. This is also a gift. You can use anything you have. And then I just do that. It sucks though right now because with the pandemic and the mask, you don't even enjoy lip gloss or like lipstick anymore. Alright, so that's basically it for this makeup video. I'm gonna see if I can like pull you guys a little closer so that you can see what it really like looks up close. Alright guys, so this is the finished result for my makeup look. For like my everyday makeup, this is what I do every day. I literally do this in like 15-12 minutes, sometimes 10 depending on how late I am. Usually I'm always late, but this is the finished result. I hope you guys like learned something. I hope you guys like picked up something to like do to try out. And, like maybe if you're like trying to spice up like your makeup routine, I hope you like found something in this video or like learned something. I just kind of like wanted to do this video because I know a lot of people don't know how to start. They don't know what to buy. They don't know what anything means. They don't know what it's for. And so I just thought it was just a good idea to like start with this. It's not gonna be just makeup, but you will see a lot of that on the channel. And yeah, I'm excited for I'm excited for whatever it is to come. I'm excited for what God has in store and whatever the future holds for this. I'm not really sure, just taking a step of faith, you know? So if you're here and you're supporting, help a girl out, share, and yeah, subscribe. Oh my God, I always used to say that as a joke, but now I'm like saying it for real. Oh, bye. But anyway, thank you so much for watching.